It's the consistency that
Mhm.
really, and it's really about, to add to what everyone is saying, it's about branding, because if you just stay in the space, of being visible, then you can actually carve your own audience. Like, there's so many ways. And I think the number one thing, just to meet everybody where they're at, that's fresh in it, you have people that got the knowledge, and it won't hurt you to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? And the biggest thing that keeps people back is being distracted, because you see everybody over here doing this rah rah, over here doing this rah rah. you know you have to remember that a lot of times people do what they know. So a lot of times, you're looking at people that's like in certain spaces because that's all that they know. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're in the best space, and that they're highest potential, and that they've actually reached a pedestal, that the pentacle, excuse me, that they can reach. So knowledge is power, and that's why I started working as a coach, because people really are not unexposed to other things, and sometimes we just box ourselves into, where we think one way is the only way, when at the end of the day, it's just not one way to do things. And it's not just the same way for everybody. Everybody has their own lane, their own time,
Yep.
their own skills. And just because this person is over here shaking her butt and, acting a fool, don't mean that you're going to be successful by taking your clothes off and humping the air and twerking every time you turn on the thing. You know what I mean?
Well,
You know, just giving one example,
that's such a good point because it feels like whenever artists are coming to us, the first thing that they want to spend their money on is PR.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And it sounds like, I mean, what you just said was so powerful, which is spend your money on knowledge. And so I'm just curious, like, what does that knowledge look like? Like, because I see people dumping money into PR firms and nothing happens because there's nothing happening.
Oh
Mm.
yeah, I have turned my money around on PR. Y'all might hear me. I have a bad reputation for publicists, because I have turned my money and got my money back from PayPal for many of them playing with my money.
Mm.
Okay, so
Right.
period.
Playing with my money.
You know,
Uh-huh.
and the crazy part is, when you say, that's a good point. When you say publicist, right? There is no way in the world that a publicist can tell you. I can't guarantee. First of all, when you are paying for knowledge or any service, you are supposed to have a service that gives you a guarantee. Or
Mm,
a person should not be in business if it's nothing but them having their own free 1-800 number blog that they can put you on. You know what I'm saying? That should be your guarantee.
mm-hmm,
So, there's a lot of pimping, going on in this game. There's so many, people pulling from the bottom. I call them bottom feeders. That's
mm-hmm.
just after the desperation of artists. And they know a lot of these artists are vulnerable because, unfortunately, I'm not, I'm just gonna be real. Some of them ain't even supposed to be doing it. Some of them
Yeah,
supposed to be a manager for somebody.
yeah,
Some of them is supposed to be a media support or broadcast, or there's just everybody wanting to be in front of that camera. And just like Bosco said earlier, that little niche, that little bit amount of people. I
yeah.
always say, if you could reach even 50,000 people, that you make your solid crew, your community, you know what I mean, that trust you. Forget the millions of people, because everybody not fits to be a Cardi B. There's different machines everybody in, period. You know what I mean? You have to come to the reality is that a hit song is a song that's exposed, period.
Mm-hmm,
Okay. A lot of us is sitting on bangers all day. They're just not exposed. So people will
mm-hmm.
say, oh, you write a good song, it's going to be a hit. No, you write a good song, you make the right decisions on how to get it broadcasted.
Mm.
And then you make sure that you understand how to monetize off of that and have everything in place to do that. Then at that point, you can say, okay, boom, that's, it makes sense. But the reality is, you have to know what's going on. And a lot of people just looking from the outside and just copying off of people. And at the end of the day, they are missing out on their blessing in their own lane. There's so many. If I told you guys all the lanes that I have going on, you'll
Mm-hmm.
be like, girl, you need to be in a crazy home. I mean, like, because it's just so much. My problem is never like, what do I do? It's like, oh my God, it's just so much, you know, because but you can't do everything. So, but as he said, if you get that little 50,000 and quit looking at the million followers and you know, which the majority of them is probably paid for anyway at the end of anyway, that's a whole other thing. But the bottom line is you can get by if you calculate. If I could sell somebody something for $10, 50,000 people, $10, that's it, the minimum. You can make $500,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? And if a person can't live off of $500,000 a year, then I don't know what to tell you, because you know.
So,
and